This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Today on Rescue 911, an accident waiting to happen. A boy at the wheel of an ATV drives it straight into disaster.
Oh my God! Wyatt!
And she was saying, he's dead, he's dead.
Plus,
I'm being attacked by killer bees.
a man fights for his life against a freak force of nature.
We got the fire department on the way.
You're dead, brother.
Drop to the ground and roll.
On Rescue 911.
When a child is injured, the whole family suffers. Sometimes the events can be so overwhelming that they challenge the limits of our faith. I'm William Shatner. Tonight, true stories that remind us nothing should be considered impossible on Rescue 911. We begin on July 1st, 1992 in Holland, Ohio, where Scott and Connie Yoder live on a large tract of land near many other members of their family.
Let's go to little grandma's. Bikes, motorcycles, and racing, and cars. It's just all part of the life here that we all live.
5-year-old Wyatt was riding his ATV around the family compound that afternoon.
He didn't want to stop playing. He was having fun. Begged if he could stay home with his Uncle Sam across the street. I just had a feeling to tell him goodbye, which was strange. We'd already said bye, but something was telling me don't leave him yet. And as I was going down the pasture, and that's when I seen the four-wheeler on its side.
My God! Wyatt! Wyatt!
I seen him laying down, his little leg laying beside him.
Wyatt! Wyatt, it's Mama!
I mean, it's almost like a horror film. It's what you would see on a screen. It's not what you'd see on your child.
Someone help me! No! Someone, no!
When we continue,
His eyes would roll in his head and he would pass out and then he would come to. And I thought, it's gonna be a miracle if he even lives.
when 5-year-old Wyatt Yoder was seriously injured while riding his all-terrain vehicle in front of his aunt's house, his mother Connie ran to call 911. A next-door neighbor, David Teachout, heard Connie's screams for help.
I could see a body in the grass. And Connie was up on the balcony, and she was saying, he's dead, he's dead.
He's alive.
Put pressure on the leg.
Wyatt, can you hear me?
Let's just straighten this a little bit.
I'm not sure what really went through my mind when I moved the leg, because I know that you shouldn't do too much moving. My main thought was comfort for him.
It's there.
Wyatt!
Sam Yoder, Wyatt's uncle, tried to slow the bleeding.
His eyes would roll in his head, and he would pass out, and then he would come to. And I thought, it's going to be a miracle if he even lives.
Rescue units with the Springfield Township Fire Department got to the scene within 6 minutes, including paramedic William Montree.
It was our first day. We had just started the service, and it was opening day at the Big Top.
It's okay. Sorry, Mama's here. It's okay.
Time was of the essence in this child's care. The only thing really holding the leg was a portion of the muscle group and some skin. So it was one of those, what we call a load and go. We don't want to be on the scene more than 10 minutes on a patient in his condition.
As soon as we get this on, I'll go up to the truck and get a hold of MCO and change our med channel. All right.
I was holding his little head, and he said, "Mama, my leg, my leg." He thought everybody was on his leg. He was asking everybody to please get off my leg. And he said, "Mama, am I gonna die?"
You ready to go up on the
And I
cot?
said, "Lord, no, you're not gonna die, Wyatt. You're not gonna die. You're gonna be fine."
Let's go. I got his leg.
But it's hard to tell him he's going to be okay when you don't know.
As soon as Wyatt and his mother arrived at the Medical College of Ohio, the boy was taken to be examined.
There's nothing I could do, but the separation, I was so afraid I was never going to see him again.
You got no pulses in the leg, blood pressure.
Orthopedic surgeon Robert Bielski was one of the doctors treating Wyatt.
You know, obviously our initial concern is how unstable he was in terms of how much blood he'd lost. Our second very important concern is whether or not this was a salvageable limb.
This is your order?
Yes.
Let's talk to you real quick.
A doctor came out to tell us that there was probably nothing that they could do for his leg. It was gone.
Take a look at his leg now. I know this all happened.
Seeing it the way I did, I didn't think that there was anything they could do for the leg. I just wanted my son.
Count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Luckily, the two nerves were intact in the back of the knee, so there's a very high chance that he would get some return of sensation and muscle function in his leg.
He was in surgery for, I believe, 6 hours. I think it was 2:30 in the morning before we got to see him. And the first thing he said was, "Mama, I want a fudge bar. I want to go home and I want to ride my bike." And it was hard because I never knew if he'd ever ride his bike again.
I'm going to be downstairs.
During the surgery, Wyatt's father, Scott Yoder, joined his wife at the hospital.
It was a long wait, but it was the most wonderful sight in my life to see him rolling by us and taking him into intensive care.
Wyatt has already had 7 more operations to rebuild his leg, with more surgeries ahead, and he'll need physical therapy for a long time to come.
He knew he was hurt, and he knew he had to work hard. He knew he had to cooperate. He learned a lot of patience, as he had to lay in that bed on his back for a long time. Didn't break his spirit at all.
He was lucky that he did save his nerves, but also that nothing else really was hurt on him. And he was lucky that he was found, because obviously the amount of blood he lost, he could have easily bled to death at the scene. I think that a valuable lesson anyone should learn from this situation is that the all-terrain vehicles are not toys.
I know people say, why would he be on that? Well, coming from our family, what we've grown up to be, what we've done in the past for years, it wasn't out of the ordinary for him to be riding it. But in my heart now, if they can't pedal it or roll it, they don't have it. That's my new motto.
1 year later, the rescuers who helped save Wyatt still check in on him.
We have to drive right by Wyatt's house to get fuel for our truck, and we stop in once in a while and see him, and we get quite regular reports, which is nice.
You being careful now? Yeah. Well, I think there's several heroes. Jimmy and William and all his doctors that did what they did. Our neighbor man, David Teachout. You know, I call him Wyatt's little guardian angel. I could never thank him enough for what they've done. What's your biggest thing you've been doing? Playing. Yeah.
Next.
911, what is your emergency?
I'm being attacked by Honeybee!
What?
I'm being attacked by Honeybee!
20-year-old Christopher Graves had been looking after a plot of land that his grandmother owned in Robstown, Texas, for more than 4 years. So when he showed up there on the morning of August 23rd, 1994, he had no reason to assume it was no longer safe to set foot on the property.
My son Chris said, "Mom, let's meet for lunch, because I'm going to be mowing right there near Robstown." We're just more like friends, really, than mother and son. He's never given me an ounce of trouble in his life. He had his mobile phone with him. I've always, since he's been doing this mowing, told him, in case anything happens, I want you to dial 911.
Nueces County Sheriff's Deputy David Maldonado was driving by the area on routine patrol.
I saw a gentleman that was taking a tractor off of a trailer. Farmers are always moving tractors around with bush hogs, and it's not unusual to see something like that. So I just kind of really blew it off and just kept on going. The second time that I was coming around, he was already starting to mow.
What is your emergency?
I'm being attacked by killer bees.
What?
I'm being attacked by killer bees.
Okay, what's the matter? Slow down, calm down. What's the matter?
I'm on Highway 77.
Highway 77?
Yes.
Okay, where at? Are you trapped inside your car?
Past the cut.
Dispatcher Dorothy Pollard took the call.
What's the problem?
I'm being attacked by killer bees.
You're being attacked by killer bees.
I'm being attacked by killer bees.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
I heard the bees buzzing around his head, and I heard him screaming in pain. I knew that I was talking to a man that was getting stung over and over and over and over and over, and I really was at a loss of what to tell him.
I can't hear you.
Are you inside of your vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, stay inside your vehicle.
I'm outside of my vehicle.
Are you outside of your vehicle? Can you get back inside of your vehicle?
I'm outside of it.
Okay, sir. Okay. Where are you at right now? Can you crawl under the... Can you get anywhere away from the bees?
Sorry.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Stay on the line. Stay on the line.
Every time I've dispatched to somebody, the guys go out there and they've gone into unbelievable situations and handled it. But this one, it's going to be a tough rescue.
Were you transporting the bees?
No, I'm covered with them.
Okay, get animal control on the line so I can get some advice.
On the third pass, it looked kind of funny from far away because you could see this cloud around him. He looked kind of hazy, but he didn't look like a real person. He had something around him. I thought they were gnats, but they were bigger than gnats, and what I started seeing was bees.
1033. Drop to the ground and roll. Drop and roll.
I've had training for traffic accidents and homicides and how to take care of a crime scene. How do I take care of a man who's covered with 3,000 or 4,000 bees?
You got a sheriff's deputy there?
Yes.
Is the officer getting out of the car or is he staying in his vehicle?
I can't hear you.
Is the officer getting out of his car or is he staying in his vehicle?
Staying in.
He's going to pass out.
Hurry.
Okay, what is the officer doing? Can you get
in his car?
You go get in the officer's car, okay?
I can't get in.
Can you walk? Are you laying down?
I'm passed out right now.
People tend to think about a bee. It's such a small little thing, but I mean, when you have 10,000 little things, it becomes one big thing, and it could kill you. About the same moment, I started thinking, you know, hey, you're allergic to bees.
Okay, I'm gonna get the fire department. Hold on. Stay on the line. Stay on the line. Sir?
What?
Okay, we got the fire department on the way. Well, there's an officer there.
I'm dead by this. Can't breathe.
It was silent. I mean, it was silent after that. And we had no earthly idea what was going on. He sounds like he's not going to make it. And I thought, was mine going to be the last voice he ever heard?
Robstown firefighter Ernest Gallegos and his partner arrived.
I looked towards the victim. He looked like a grass person, grass all over his face, but it was all bees. I couldn't even see his eyes. I yelled to Richard, "I'm being attacked by bees."
Fire Chief Julio Flores took charge of the scene.
They just couldn't do it. We didn't have the proper gear for what we encountered. I was gonna have 2 more victims, and I said, I'm gonna have to get these guys out. That was one of the hardest decisions, if not the hardest decision I ever had to make as a chief.
Animal Control Supervisor Noe Perez had had some training in dealing with bees.
If they attack you, you need to immediately leave the area because they will defend their colonies. I knew that there was someone that was being attacked. I didn't know that it wasn't the deputy. These bees can do 12 to 15 miles an hour, and they will pursue you for approximately 3 football fields. And that's why you better run. You better break some records.
I don't know how fast he was going, but the wind rush and everything got the bees off of me. By that time, I was already wheezing.
You need to have the protective suit, a bee suit. The better thing to do if you don't have a bee suit is not to go in.
Down there, he's in the grass over there.
Okay. The ambulance personnel was on standby. They're pretty much just waiting for someone to do the actual rescue. At that point, officers, Roland Galvan, Tito Trevino, motioned me that they found a victim. He was just covered, you know, from head to toe, literally. The sheriff's unit then escorted us over to the hospital. So, just a matter of trying to go as fast as we can.
Head first, here we go.
At Riverside Hospital, emergency physician Dan Bywaters headed up the trauma team treating the victims.
Deputy Maldonado was brought in, but he was relatively stable. Then we went over and took a look at Chris, and I was shocked.
He was covered fully with bees.
I've been told before that 300 to 400 bee stings can easily be a lethal dose to a normal adult human. This guy had 2 to 3 times that easily.
Let's get some bug spray, too.
When you see something like this, for just a split second, all your medical training goes out the window. We tried to start the IVs, but the bees just made that impossible. He would try and say things, but you know, he had bee stings on his tongue. You really wonder if there's anything you can do. He had youth and good health in his favor. But you wonder about kidney failure that's going to occur 1, 2, 3, 4 days down the line.
Move his fingers, Chris. You're going to be okay.
Hello?
Chris's girlfriend, Audra Baumgartner, happened to call him on a cell phone.
You know, all I could say was I got stung by some bees, you know, and I'm at the hospital. And I thought maybe he just got stung a few times and that he was having an allergic reaction. Because I thought, well, he's, you know, able to answer the phone. He obviously isn't that bad off.
He's still very ill. I would say he's probably critical at this point.
Chris's mother, Charnel, went to be with him as soon as Audra told her what had happened.
He and I have just gone through a lot together in life, and he's just the best son a person could ever have. I just said, God, you're just going to have to help me and help him, and I just expected God to do it.
Keep the faith, okay? I love you.
20-year-old Chris Graves was transferred to Spawn Hospital, where he was given large amounts of fluids and antibodies to try to fight off kidney failure.
Okay.
I know that 911 call saved his life. There's no question. And that was the first smart thing he did. Did what his mother said.
The other one's worse than this one is.
Yeah.
2 months have passed.
Yeah. I get occasions where I have hives that pop up on me. But other than that, I feel great. My strength's being built back up, and I'm getting back to normal. Like border lines on fence lines and stuff like that.
Subsequent university identification determined that they were ordinary honeybees, not killer bees.
I think in his case what happened is he was mowing with the tractor. The vibration, the noise is what agitated them. And when that happened, he pretty much just stayed in place, and that's when he was overcome with them.
Rooted in, plant them in 1 gallons.
You can't wipe them out from the world. They're all over. So now what we're doing is learning how to live with them a little bit more and how to deal with them.
I thank everyone that did anything, but mainly animal control. Even though they had to throw him in the back of a pickup truck and drive him to the hospital, he said it was just like the movie, The Birds, but it was the bees.
Look up.
Well, they run over us again. I'd have to say he's stronger than most people because I don't think most people can handle being stung over 1,000 times by bees. He's a very, very brave guy.
If he wants to be in horticulture or whatever he wants to do, he will do it with all the gusto possible. But it's scary. You have no control over Mother Nature. Anything can happen.
Step out of the car, please.